Wawa breathe. Busy. Wabi. Meow. Weepy floor. Meow. Weepy floor. Meow. Weepy floor.
Just a quick heads up, this video will contain major spoilers for Smile for Me, and a bit of the epilogue, so please watch at your own disclosure. The deranged doctor with an affinity for teeth, Dr. Habit. Habit is a dentist who had a need for smiles and would do anything to get them, but has their mission challenged when a certain little flower came to his habitat. With Habit's experience from the habitat in tow, how will he fray in the fight for Super Smash Brothers? Now, before we get into the moveset, I do have a couple of things I need to address. First of all, yes, this episode is inspired by Brawl Fan 1 series of the same name. Second, this is a one-time thing. Do not expect any more Smash movesets from me. I still want Brawl Fan 1 to have his own channel shtick. Third, the only reason I'm doing this is because I know Brawl Fan 1 won't. And if I asked him on multiple occasions and he never responds, and I know he's seen it because he's replied to my other comments, so I'm gonna take this one. Starting things off, Habit would be one of the heavier midweight characters. He would have 2 low jumps and no additional movement options. This is going to be an interesting moveset because Smile for Me is not, well, fighting game, or really has any fighting mechanics. But hey, if Phoenix Wright can get into Marvel vs. Capcom, then I can put Habit into Smash. So for this moveset, I'll be using different items in the games to help Habit out. Starting with Habit's jab, it'll be a 3-hit jab with Habit pulling out a pickle jar, and the attack has a high to low hit followed by a horizontal jab forward with a heavy swing upwards, breaking the jar. This is mostly a reference to Randy and one of the ways you can make him happy in the game, which is by breaking a pickle jar on him. The dash attack will be Habit rushing forward trying to give you a bouquet of flowers, but then tripping and falling. This isn't really based off of anything, more just fits Habit's love for flowers. I mean, not every attack can have a direct comparison to pull from, so you gotta improvise a bit. For their side tilt, Habit will quickly pull out a bouquet of flowers and swing it forward, like he does in the beginning of the game with one of his gifts. The attack doesn't have much range, but it causes flinching damage, so could be useful for combos. Habit's up tilt has him swing Guri's metal detector overhead, causing heavy damage from the magnet part of the detector. As a consequence, it has a bit of start and end lag. Now, the metal detector in-game doesn't have this ability, though it's a heavy piece of metal attached to some string. It's gonna hurt if it hits you. Down tilt can have the trowel Trensel gives you. Using this move can trip opponents and even bury them at high percents, kinda like Villager's down smash, which can be useful when combined with Habit's smash attacks. I mean, it's kinda what most smash attacks are used for, but still useful nonetheless. I picked a pretty basic side smash for Habit, having him bring out the punching glove with a heavy wind-up punch, dealing lots of damage. Closest thing to this I can compare would be Wario's side smash, but this one would have a bit more range at the expense of not having a wide of hitbox. The up smash could reference Millie and her golf club from those confusing pipes in Millie's puzzle, with a build-up that once let go will have an overhead swing of the golf club, doing pretty decent damage, but nothing to be amazed at, yet also nothing to ignore. The main difference between this and the metal detector is while the metal detector did more damage, it doesn't cover as wide as range as the club. For the down smash, it would have Habit bring out his secret stash, which is just a toothbrush, which would have a low front to back swing, again like Wario's down smash, applied with similar differences, that being not as heavy hitter of damage, but having a wider range. This move is a pseudo-reference to Kamal, Habit's ex-assistant, and how Habit stole Kamal's toothbrush to clean Martha when she got rusty under rain. For the neutral aerial, it has Habit flail his limbs around, like in this sprite, from your final confrontation with him. It comes out very fast, but has some end lag, as not to spam it. I mean, depending on what you do in the game, this action has the ability to shatter glass, which, you know, could be used for an attack. For the forward aerial, I decided to go with scissors given to you by Trenzel. Now, while this attack doesn't cut your opponent, it will act like Mario's forward aerial. From a high to low swing, not having as bit of a hitbox, but being able to spike opponents a bit easier. But you know, you're still trying to spike opponents, it's gonna be hard no matter what. For the back air, it could have Habit pull out his dental mirror, swinging it front to back, not dealing as much damage as a usual back air, but having the ability to launch opponents far away from you, giving you more time to recover in the air. The up air would be Habit with Dallas's flower painting, and he would put it straight above him like he's trying to hang the portrait. Again, not dealing much damage, yet having the benefit of launching. Traits definitely making Habit a bit of a campy character without the benefit of range, but with similar characters giving you a hard time if they're at high launch rates, potentially leading to early KOs. Definitely made easier with the lightweight characters like Jigglypuff or Squirtle. The down air is much like the forward air, using the toilet teeth. Habit snaps them straight downwards. Again, not having as wide a hitbox, but easier to spike opponents. With his forward and down air, you could make a very edge-guardy character, but still has the problem of not doing much damage. Meaning, yes, you can launch the character a bit further, but compared to what other characters are doing, they'll rack up more damage on you, while you only have 20% on them, causing problems which will be addressed in the B attacks, but we're not there yet. So let's get to talking about... Habit would have a standard grab and pummel using a pair of pliers. No real pizzazz with the grab itself, but I wanted to put that into the throws. The forward throw would have Habit pull out Murphy's flash camera and take a picture of them, causing the foe to get dazed and fall backwards. The up throw would have a yellow appeal from underneath the foe, sending the foe upwards. The down throw has Habit using the trowel once again to bury the foe. And finally the back throw has Millie appear and bats the foe backwards. For Habit's neutral special, he wields teeth. By pressing B, he will throw one tooth. I imagine like a slight angled version of Banjo's neutral special with the similar properties of being able to run and throw. For Dr. Habit's side special, I wanted to mimic the last day of Smile for me, when the air fills with laughing gas. Or holding it down, it will eventually fill up to the point where you can release it, and it will work like a combination of Piranha Plant's side special and Mewtwo's down special, making any foe caught in the smoke long enough become dazed for a short while. As a recovery move for Habit, I thought of a pretty fun one, and it involves the air horn. You see, upon activating the up special, an air horn will appear underneath Habit, going off and scaring him upwards, similar to the properties of the air horn in Smile for me. Now let's get into the move that I've been alluding to for a while, the down special. But to cover that, we have to go to... You see, Brawl Fan 1 has a philosophy of sorts. He won't do any character if he doesn't think he can represent the franchise with the moveset well enough. And this moveset doesn't exactly mimic the gameplay of Smile for me, so I decided to fix that. For Habit's down special, he'll bring out a menu with 4 items to choose from. A flower, a teddy bear, a punching glove, and a fish on a hook. What do these items do, you may ask? Well, by equipping one of these items, you'll be able to use it on the character. which will make the character a bit happier. If you hit them with their respected items 3 times, there will be blue particle effects around them, making them a bit lighter and having their attacks not do as much damage. Now, you can't just use any 3 items on a character and they'll magically be happy. Just like in the games, you have to know what makes each person happy and put effort into helping them. That's why I made it 3 items instead of 1, because most characters in Smile for me require more than 1 things to make them happy. I know it might sound like a lot to remember with each character in the game, but that's why I limited to only 4 items, not to overcomplicate things. The move also has a fun little bonus I thought would be interesting, which would be to have the flowers randomized between the 4 flowers in the game. It doesn't change the effect of the item, but it would be a nice reference. Now, with all the moves out of the way, we can finally get to for Dr. Habit's final smash! Martha would fall from the sky and appear in the background, emitting laughing gas, causing any player that gets caught in the smoke to become dizzy, like a mix of Ashley's assist trophy and Peach's final smash. Yes, I know, this is basically just a copy of Peach's final smash, but it's really the best I could come up with and what I thought would be most faithful to the character, which would also complement his playstyle of making characters happy. With the Chaos of Smash, it's going to be hard to land those items. This will definitely help you, giving you a fighting edge against your opponents. Characters who get hit with this over the stage just fall into the blast zone. For Habit's colors, the default would have Habit in his usual blue cloak and hat. The first alt could show Habit in a light teal coat and wavy pants, referencing his ex-assistant Kamal or Flower Kid. Next could have Habit in a light green Clonary coat and a red hat, like one of the Petition's Petunia. Then a red floral print shirt like we see on one of Habit's wall paintings. There can be an alternate costume with Habit in his dentist outfit. And here's a violet variant, like one of the other wall Habits. And finally, a black silhouette with a lit up face, referencing Shadow Habit. Habit's stage intro could have a dark cloud appear, illuminating Habit's eyes. Then he steps out, like your first confrontation with him. For taunts, he could pull out a sign with a smiley face emoticon, waving it back and forth. His second taunt could have him turn to the camera and tilt his head with teeth coming out. For the final taunt, it could have him crouch and do a silly little dance, like this one in the Habit Lounge. Anyways, for victory animations, the first could have an all-black screen until Habit's eyes pop out of the darkness. His second could have him pull out Habit and talk with him. And his final could show Habit holding the tooth lily in a pot, like Smile for Me's ending. And that does it for What If Dr. Habit Was in Smash. Like I said before, don't expect me to ever do this again. This was a one-time thing because I wanted to Smash Brothers moveset for a Smile for Me character, and I don't think Smile for Me is popular enough for one of the big guys to do it, so I decided to take things into my own hands. But if you liked what you saw and want to see more Smash movesets, then go to BrawlFan1's channel. And if you want to see other characters being given Smash movesets, then go ask him. He won't bite.